Curly sucks. He's probably just as bad, if not worse, than Jimmy. And we're going to get into that. I promise you, not clickbait. I plan to talk about that. But first, hi, hello, how's it going? Welcome to the first episode of Igloo Illustrated. Welcome to the first episode of Igloo Illustrated. We're just going to keep it rolling. Alright? Now, I'm just going to be talking, really, and drawing. That's what I want to do, the illustrated part. The illustrated part comes in. I want to be drawing and talking. But also, we're talking about things that are illustrated, such as manga, graphic novels, anime, cartoons, anything like that. But also video games as well, because there's illustrations involved in video games. The illustrations part's not that big. The big part is the igloo. The igloo is just, sometimes we'll be deep diving into stuff like today. We're talking about Curly's character, right? And like really like getting into why he's not supposed to be portrayed as like a good guy. But also, sometimes you might just see the tops of the igloo, and we'll just keep it there and talking about just like random stuff of how I like in this show or in this manga, in this graphic novel, blah 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 blah. Right. But yeah, normally it's not just gonna be me. I'd like to have like some of my friends on, or like my girlfriend, or anybody like that, and just chatting it up. Maybe some of my mutuals from TikTok as well. But for today, it's just me. It's the first episode. I know I'm talking a lot here. Either way, if you want to draw along with me, you can. Get your pen and paper. I left my sketchbook at home, so I'm going old school with a little notepad or whatever other medium you're using to do it with me. But yeah, let's just talk about it. Curly sucks, dude. Like he really sucks, and I feel that a lot of the fandom isn't really receptive to that. You know, okay. I'm new to the fandom. I've seen this stuff over the past few weeks, but I didn't see like the entire full game up until 2 days ago, right? Like 2 or 3 days ago. So I'm pretty new into like understanding the full context, because I remember seeing a lot of stuff about Curly. Like I thought he was the villain. Like I thought Curly was the bad guy initially, because he kind of, the dude's deformed, right? That's not me being like rude enough. It's just facts, right? So the way that I was seeing the drawings initially, I was like, oh, that dude's got to be bad. But then I started seeing people's comments. It's like, oh no, everybody likes Curly. Granted, a lot of people like Dio, but like it didn't feel the same way as like liking a villain. It felt like that's my guy. And I saw a lot of stuff of like, there's this one fan art. Hopefully I have it up on the screen right now. It's Curly, and he's standing, and like one of his legs is Swansea's legs. No, his arm is Swansea's arm. His leg is Anya, and I think his other arm or something like that, or his other leg is Daisuke or Daisuke. I don't know how to say his name genuinely. But yeah, it was like that. I thought that was really cool. So I was like, this is the hero. This is my guy, right? And I watch it, I'm like, oh, you suck. Like you suck. And initially, I kind of like asked the question like on a video on TikTok, and I was like, he isn't a good guy, right? Like we're not supposed to see he's the good guy, because he could have done something when it came to Anya, and he told Anya like, hey man, I'll handle it. Say nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll fix this. And so he kept telling her that. I think it happened like twice. I was like, but you didn't do anything. Even when you talk to Jimmy, you're like, hey man, I'll handle it. You're telling everybody you'll handle it, but you're not doing nothing. You're just telling people you'll handle it, right? And initially, I was like, okay, so maybe he's kind of morally gray. But then when I was talking it through and like seeing some of the conversations going on in like the comments, I was like, oh, no, this is a bad guy, because without Curly, there's no Jimmy, right? And what I mean by that is not just that Jimmy and Curly knew each other, and so Curly brought Jimmy on the ship, but like Jimmy's antics would not have been allowed without Curly. Like, without Curly not saying anything, without Curly not doing anything, Jimmy wouldn't have done anything. But also, Jimmy knows Curly's a punk, bro. He's not going to do nothing. He's not going to stand on business, because he's just there. He's just going to be like, that's crazy, dog. Anyway, y'all see them rocks outside? Crazy we're in space. Like he'll just deflect. And it's people like Curly that keep people like Jimmy afloat. To where I know you're the person in charge. You don't have the gall to say anything. You don't have the gall to do anything. You're not gonna touch me. You're not gonna do nothing. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And when my chips are down, I'm gonna be like, hey, Curly's got me. Because Curly's got me, because they're friends. And hopefully I can find the comment. If I can't, I remember what it says, but I just want to like shout out the person. They said that people like Curly are like the reason why so many of like SAers get around like doing stuff, and like they don't get caught a lot of the times, right? Sorry, I don't. Am I allowed to say sexual assault on YouTube? I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. Either way, and that's true, because people like Curly, they don't stop anything. Jimmy knew. I mean, Curly knew what Jimmy did to Anya, and he didn't do anything. And people are going to say, "Well, they're on a ship, DJ. What is he going to do?" There's got to be ports. Like, this isn't like a freight train where everybody's in cryo sleep until we get to the destination. You know, it's not Alien. That's not what they're doing. They're all awake. Like, there's like food systems and like everybody's awake. And the ship can be piloted. It's not always an autopilot. So we had to like land somewhere at some point. Obviously the end destination, but there's got to be ports in between. He could have locked Jimmy up, tied him up. It's what, 4-on-1? He's not taking that. And Jimmy, like I said, Jimmy's a punk anyway. Jimmy and Curly are punks, but like, he didn't have that fight in him until he lost everything up here. He did not have that fight in him, right? You've done something, right? And people might say, well, DJ, they're on a ship. What was he going to do? That ship had to stop somewhere. Not only its end destination, but I guess like a space gas station is the best way to put it. It's a spaceport, right? They had to go through a few of them because they weren't in cryosleep. It's not like Alien. They weren't just in cryosleep the entire time until like the week before they got there. They're awake that full time. That ship's gonna need maintenance. That ship was on. They had like 200 and some odd days. It was like 8 months. They had 8 months left when Anya was telling Curly like about like the pixel stuff and alluding to it. Any person with a functioning brain could have been able to see what Anya was talking about. Curly knew what she was talking about. And not Jimmy. Curly just let it slide, right? It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you could have locked him up, and then we could have taken him to a port and let the authorities deal with him. Or just left him there, bro. Leave his groupie... Bro, leave him alone, man. Like push him to the curb, right? But he didn't do that. I don't care that, like, they've been friends for a while. You just don't let stuff like that happen. But there's people like that in real life. Those are the people that, like, let these serial assaulters get away with stuff, bro. It's the people that are close to them that, like, but he's not always like this. Or they're trying to just look past it. And so they don't say anything. They don't do anything. And that's just as bad because you're enabling him. If he didn't have somebody enabling him, if he didn't have somebody who he knew that, like, even when stuff was hitting the fan, Curly's got my back no matter what I did. If Jimmy didn't have that, Jimmy probably would have done half of what he did, right? And I think Jimmy probably would have, like, lost his mind at some point. But it wouldn't have been that bad because at that point, we still would have restrained you. We would have done something else. If there was somebody competent on that ship, like, actually getting into it with him, you know? Like, it really felt that Curly was able to let all of this go and let all this be pushed to the wayside up until his last moment when he was like, Jimmy, like, what did you do? And when he was yelling at him about what did you do, it was with the ship, right? And obviously that's because, like, everybody's life is at stake and whatnot, but it also begs the question, like, did you not value Anya's life as much as, like, you say you did? Like, as a person, bro. She was violated. Like, really violated. And you're just able to still chuck it up with buddy? That's crazy. That's insane. That's vile. That is, like, villainous stuff, bro. Heinous. Because I have cut people off for less. I myself have cut people off for way less. I won't talk to you. I won't look you in the eye. I've cut people off for way less. So, like, where are your morals, man? And I've seen people just call him a coward, like, oh yeah, he's morally gray because, like, he's a coward and he doesn't do anything. No. You're morally wrong. You're morally bad. You're a bad person. You're a bad man, bro. Like, like you're actually a bad man. Like, Jimmy's... I crazy thoughts. I'd put him and Jimmy at the same level of bad. Jimmy's actions are bad. Curly's inactions are just as bad. Just as bad. Because you're a bystander and you're letting it happen. You're not saying anything. You're not protesting. You're letting it happen. You guys are on equal footing. And you just let that rock? Yeah. Yeah, you're just as bad. Like, it's like if anybody's seen, like, any, like, injustice or something, right? And you just stand there and watch it happen, bro. Like, if you seen somebody just getting beat. Like, somebody just beating somebody. And you just... it's crazy. Anyway... That's bad, bro. That's bad. I guess that's not a one-to-one in this situation, but I'm just trying to really hammer the point home to the fact that, like, that's not a good thing. It's a very human thing, though, because we see that with humans all the time, right? They don't do anything, and you just let stuff rock, and it's like, oh, man, I don't know how people were, like, he was able to get away with this for this long, right? We hear those serial killers all the time. How were they able to get away with this for this long? Because nobody was saying anything, because people are enabling them. Whether that be, like, cult leader type stuff, to where, like, people are just following them, or just the inactions of people who didn't want to rock the boat. They didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Oh, that's my best friend, bro. He really wasn't like that. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was actually worse. He was actually way, way, way worse, you know? And I think it's, like, especially as a guy, like, you see it with guys all the time, to where it's like there's like little, like, I wouldn't call it like guy, like, it's not like a guy club type stuff, but it's like guys will tell guys stuff where it's, I don't know you that well, like, I could just meet some dude and he'll tell me something like real invasive about stuff, to where it's like, that's not, I see that you trust me because I'm also a guy, but you should have taken that to the grave. You know what I mean? Like, it's like stuff like that where it's like, ugh, I don't think I would say that. Or even, we even see stuff like that. I'll play the clip for you. It's Diddy on Conan O'Brien. I'm sure you've seen the clip. Where he's talking about, like, how he gets people to, like, have fun and to, like, drink at his parties, right?
And you need the ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking about?
Right. And Diddy can say stuff like that because it's very apparent that he knew nobody was going to say anything, A, because he had dirt on him, but B, it's one of those things where you're telling this, and it's supposed to be haha funny because I'm a guy and I like women. But no, it's not haha funny. It's haha concerning. Lock this man up. Throw him in Rikers, bro. I mean, he is in Rikers actually right now. But throw Curly in Rikers. Throw Jimmy in Rikers, bro. Perfect scenario. Say they made it to the port, right? Say Jimmy and Curly, the whole crew, nothing went bad. They made it to the port. Curly's still an inactionable hoe, right? He didn't say nothing. They get to the port. Lock them both up. I'm so serious. And honestly, I might have to throw Swansea in there too, because apparently Swansea knew, right? And it's very evident that Swansea knew, because after Swansea kills Daisuke, side notes, I feel like if you're watching this video, you know all of mouthwashing. I'm so sorry. I'll put a spoiler warning at the beginning, I guess. I feel like if you either way, Swansea kills Daisuke, and then he's looking at Jimmy, and he says something along the lines of, like, I don't know why you're upset. Anya was telling me some crazy things, and then Jimmy's like, oh, well, see, you're listening to Anya about all this stuff about Daisuke and all this other stuff. And Jimmy and Swansea's like, well, no, actually, she was talking crazy about you, big dog. And he just looked at him, and nobody said anything. They walked away. I don't know how long Swansea know. What I do know is the fact that we didn't just deck him in the face, not Swansea, Jimmy in the face after Swansea knew. So we got two people. We got one who's just, he's just a punk, bro. Curly's just a punk, right? He doesn't want to rock the boat. And Swansea, it felt like he cared, but not enough to do anything. You know? And like even like Swansea's little speech at the end of his life, he's just kind of talking like, I don't know, man. When I was a drunk, those were the best days. Like that's kind of what he was just talking about. He was just like, I just didn't feel like doing anything, and life got like mundane to a point. He felt like an old dog that didn't feel like doing nothing, bro. He's just laying down, right? Swansea's on the list too. I don't think Daisuke know. And honestly, R.I.P. him. R.I.P. him. It just sucks, man. It just really sucks to see. But also, I think what's crazier is that the community is like so nice to Curly. Like insanely nice to Curly. Why? Give him the Jimmy treatment. I mean, sure, yeah. Like, he got really messed up after the crash. And like, what happened to him after the fact really sucks. But all of it's his fault. It's Jimmy's fault, but it's his fault too. Because it seems like Jimmy's been this way for a hot minute. And the way that they all talk is like, yeah, Curly and Jimmy know each other, right? So even if Jimmy never did anything to this extent, Curly, like, it's mentioned that Curly's been cleaning up his stuff, bro. So stuff has happened before, whether it's to this bad or not, it's happened before. And we just rocking with them. Sorry, I didn't think I was still, I thought the mic turned off. But we're just rocking with it, right? Why? Why would you do that? So you know this man's got an issue. You know this man's got a problem. You let him on board. For what? For what? Because he's your friend? Okay. I would never let a friend jeopardize my job, but that's just me. Right? So you let him on board. He's screwing up stuff. This is your fault. You know your friend's a problem. You know your friend's a problem. Then your friend starts causing problems. You do nothing. Then your friend starts doing all this other stuff. You do nothing. Then your friend crashes the ship. And now it's like, wait, what are you doing? Brother, you knew what he was doing. He was being a screw up. Jimmy's a screw up, bro. That's all he does, man. Like, actually, you knew this. You've known this, man. So you let this rock. And now you're like, it's your fault, is what I'm saying. A roundabout way of saying Curly sucks, right? You could have stopped everything. The ship wouldn't have crashed if you would have dealt with Jimmy yourself, right? If you would have never let Jimmy on board, the ship wouldn't have crashed. A. B. If you would have stopped him the first time Anya told you something was going on, ship wouldn't have crashed. If we would have taken him off the ship, put him in the cryo chamber. Yeah, actually, full stop. There was a cryo chamber. Yeah, we don't have a jail cell on here. Buddy, I'm tossing you in that cryo chamber till we get out. What? And I'm encasing it in that foam stuff. You're not leaving, brother. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that actually makes me even more upset. Curly sucks. Oh my god. Dude, there's the cryo chamber. They had multiple cryo chambers, it looks like, because they said the other ones got damaged, right? Multiple cryo chambers. So the defense of, oh, well, we didn't know where to put him, like even if he did say something, what, you're going to say you're going to get in trouble at the port, and that's about it? So he was going to do reckless stuff anyway. No. Toss him in the cryo chamber. Put that hoe to sleep, man. Toss him on ice. What were you doing, Curly? Yeah. Actually, Curly is vile. Because sorry, I thought there was a big spider in the room. There's a stink bug on the window. I'm not gonna get it. He's not bothering nobody. I'm terrified of spiders, so I thought it was a massive spider on the window. It's just a stink bug. Either way, Curly sucks. Curly sucks. If you know anybody like a Curly, cut them off now, bro. Because they're not going to help you in your time of need. Where are you going, stink bug? Because now he's moving. I can't tell if he saw me. There's no way he saw me looking at him because like there's closed blinds. I'm just seeing him through the slits of the blinds. Anyway, cut off a Curly in your life. Cut off a Jimmy in your life. You don't beat up a Jimmy in your life. I don't condone violence, but I do condone hurting people who have hurt other people. That's not violence. That's just righting a wrong. Go beat up a Jimmy that you know. Please. Please do. Alright? Like, I'm so serious. Because they only operate because people let them operate. Right? It's like how like that thing where it's like everybody has like that weird person in the family. I don't. My family nips that right immediately. But I do know some other families. They got some weird stuff going on, but that's our uncle. We don't want to talk about it. Go beat up that uncle. If you got an uncle like that, get you and your cousins together, go beat him up. Again, not condoning violence, but if he's Jimmy level bad, good little 1-2s never hurt anybody. That's what I say. If they're Jimmy level bad, it's not even pain for them. It's not even pain for them. That's just a karmic blessing is what it is. Alright? But yeah, Jimmy sucks. Curly sucks just as bad because his inability to do anything. Swansea, I don't know how long Swansea knew. I really want to hope Swansea only knew right at the end. But hoping like that is how we get Curly's. Because Curly just hoped it wasn't that bad. Brother, she was pregnant. How bad do you think it was? Right, like, put him up, actually, bro. Oh my God. And I know people are like, well, Curly got, Curly got his punishment because he was unable to move when he was, like, before the crash, and now after the crash, he can't move. That's not enough punishment for me. That's not enough punishment for me. We all died, except you, Curly. That's not enough punishment for me. I need to see you getting boxed up, pieced up daily. Daily. And then maybe I'll feel better. A woman got pregnant. Curly. Bro. People died. I don't care that Jimmy died. And Jimmy went out like a punk. Okay. I'm not... Let me phrase this correctly. People going out the way Jimmy went out are not all punks, but because of Jimmy's actions and the way he decided to go out makes him a punk. There we go. Jimmy's a punk, bro. But he couldn't face the music. You're fine hurting everybody else, and when it comes to yourself, oh, just one bullet do the trick. How many times did he shoot Swansea? Look at Daisuke. Look what you put him through. Look at Curly. And you just taking a 1 to the head so you don't feel anything? You're a punk, bro. You're a punk. Oh my God. That actually, And then it's like, well, see, but we don't know if Curly will, like, if anybody will ever find Curly, blah, blah, blah. Okay? You don't think when you're in cryo sleep. Like, you do, but you don't realize you're like, he's not staring out the window, is what I'm saying. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. If somebody gets him, at some point, good. And if they don't, he'll just die in cryo sleep at some point. Like, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating because it feels like people like Curly and people like Jimmy never get the justice they need and what they deserve, you know? Like, you got off scot-free, Jimmy. You took 5 bodies with you. 5 of them. And then just popped yourself out. Curly, you don't have to think anymore for like the next 20 some odd years, because I think they said it lasts like 20 years or something like that. So you'll be fine. The rest of these people suffered. Curly suffered too, but buddy, you had it coming. None of these other people did anything. Like, it's so frustrating, man. I think what's even more frustrating about the game is how rooted in real life it is. Like, there's Curlys, there's Jimmys, there's like every character, there's somebody like them. But the Curlys and the Jimmys are the ones that really grind my gears. Because those are the people who, they never get their punishment. They never see their day, you know? It's like, you might get a slap on the wrist here and there, but you go out like a punk. Epstein went out like a punk, bro. Oh, you did this real quick, so now you don't have to face the music. Now you don't gotta feel pain. Yeah, okay. No, man, because it's not fair, and it's really frustrating. I think. I personally find it super frustrating with stuff like that, but there's nothing you can do. But I think that's what makes the game good, personally, is that how realistic yet so trippy it is. Great. Awesome. Really messed me up a little bit. I don't do well with like sexual assault personally. It like I start spiraling in my head. It gets really bad. But that's just life, right? Like that's just how it is. And so seeing something so real yet so like fake at the same time is like really nice. But then now that I have all the context and seeing all of the community like talk about stuff with Curly, it's like there's a lot of people that enable Curlys. You know what I mean? Like, because Curly's enabled Jimmy, but somebody's got to enable Kirby. Fuck. Somebody's got to enable Curly, right? Somebody's got to let Curly rock. Like, nobody yelled at Curly for not doing nothing. It was just like, yeah, man, I know you're trying. No, you're not. You're barely breathing right now, brother. What do you mean, I know you're trying? You're not trying to do anything. You suck. Who gave you the captain position? You know what I mean? You literally failed upwards. Like, that boy hits a nerve. That boy hits a nerve, is what I'm saying. My pencil fell. My drawing sucks, by the way. But that's the other reason I'm doing this show. I know, real hard pivot here. That's the other reason I'm doing this. Because I like to draw. I haven't drawn in a while. I'm trying to draw more. If you couldn't tell, I'm not medicated today. I take ADHD medicine. I have ADHD. I was actually diagnosed with stink bug. Actually diagnosed with ADD, but within the last few years, it's actually been consolidated into one thing. One term is ADHD. But so my mind's kind of all over the place right now. I hope this was kind of coherent. I don't think it is, and I do think this model will work better with the second person, because like I didn't have anybody else here right now, and I really just wanted to kind of get this out there. I knew the first episode was just going to be myself, but I think it'd be more fun to kind of like bounce ideas off of people and just talk to people, because like the main thing is, I know, crazy hard pivot, right? I didn't even end the mouthwashing portion, and I'm gonna end it. Like we're gonna have to come back to the mouthwashing portion. But I just want, but you're here for this long. All right. Ooh. Sorry, my laptop like closed out for a second. I was wondering if it was still recording. You've been here for like 20 plus minutes. You're fine hearing me talk right now. So, but yeah, I plan to have like other people on here so like we can like talk and draw together. Not drawing the same thing, but drawing two separate things. If you're wondering what I'm drawing like a little mouth washing thing, and then I'm gonna have a little crow on it. I really like crows. But yeah, got my pencil. But back to mouth washing. Yeah, I think my biggest problem, like with seeing the fandom and seeing everything going on, is just how like forgiving they are, bro. Because obviously nobody forgave Jimmy, but for Curly and like potentially Swansea, but for Curly, what? No, lock brother up. No. Not a good dude. Not a good dude. I'm kind of going in circles here now because I kind of I've hit the nail in. I'm just hitting straight wall now. But I'm gonna finish this drawing. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish this drawing and then I'll show it to you. I'm not gonna show myself drawing the whole thing. I'm just about to show you the end product in like 2 seconds. I know this is a rough first episode. Next time I'll have somebody on and I think it'll be a lot better. So this is just gonna be one of those things where it's just me testing stuff out, just really trying to figure out what's going where. My biggest thing is I just need to actively post. I'm a very big perfectionist on how things look. So when things aren't looking the way I like, I'm like, oh, I can't post it. But I don't think that's true. And I think that's the other thing with me drawing more and kind of posting. Because I'm going to show you this. It looks terrible. It looks god awful. I have not drawn in a year. So, but I'm trying to get myself to be in a position. Grab my pencil. Trying to get myself to be in a position to where I can do stuff without it being 100% perfect, Either way, here's that final drawing. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see it? It's terrible. It's terrible. It's says Curly's mouthwash kills 0.00% of germs because that boy does nothing, right? I'll probably put a photo up because I don't think y'all saw that well. It's a really bad drawing. I spent this entire video on it. I was yapping a lot of the time. I gotta learn how to do the balance of this and drawing. But yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. This is a rough first episode, but I plan to have other people on here. I think when I have people on here, it'll be a lot better. It'll be a lot more fun. At least a lot more fun for me, right? Guys' drawings too. If you guys drew anything while I was making this, or just in general, hit me up on my Twitter and or Blue Sky. Both are these right here. It's just Data the Great at both of them, I think. I mean, they're on screen, so I guess I don't really have to worry about exactly what it is. But it's Data the Great. Either way, Data the Great's in there. It'll be a photo of me and or Sventis from Magi, because I love Sventis from Magi. I need to make a new profile photo at some point, but for right now, it's just Sventis from Magi. But yeah, send it to me that way. I'd love to check them out. Might show them on the show. Also, if you guys have any questions, I don't think any really questions, but if you guys have anything you want me to talk about or want me to check out, or just want my opinion on anything illustrated, send a question and I'll answer at some point, whether through whatever medium you send me that or just on video here. But yeah, this was fun. I'm enjoying really making videos. Really scared because TikTok might get banned, and that's where I make majority of my videos. And I was almost about to quit my job because I was making quite enough, and I can't do that currently right now because now it is very unstable. But hopefully, I can get some stability here. Yeah. Thanks for joining me for I think it's gonna be 30 minutes. So thanks for joining me for 30 minutes if you made it to the end. And if this is your first video, hi, hello, welcome. If this is the last video I see you, I'm so sorry, but this was great seeing you. But if I don't see you again, have a good afternoon, good evening, and good night.